And I believe this was sent in by our Protoss player. Not sure, he actually didn't say. I don't know. And his name is different than what the in-game name is, so I can't tell. I'm not sure which it is. But either way, in the bottom right-hand corner, we've got our red Protoss player. It's Ursula. I assume a reference to the character. As I believe we did see an extractor trick here from our blue Zerg earlier on, where you just make an extractor and then cancel it so you don't have to make an overlord as early. You get a few more drones out. But either way, it is our blue Zerg. It is Slammer. We'll be adding on that spawning pool. This is all before an expansion here, so that means that this could be a pretty aggressive opening here. 3 already into gas. So definitely we'll be going for speed, at least. Could also just be a slightly safer opening. The mindset could be I want to get my spawning pool very early because of potential cheats from Protoss. You know, cannon rushes and things. If you can get an early spawning pool against Protoss, just send these Zerglings across, you can stop those cannons from going up. Did pull the drones for a moment to try and take down this probe. Ursula doing a good job harassing, and a little question mark thrown out there from Ursula. On the other side, he has started his expansion. A standard wall off again and a standard expand here before the Cyber Core. Does have 1 gas and already saturated. The Overlord's moving across. I think Ursula probably, or excuse me, Slammer probably pulled because he didn't know Ursula had an expansion yet because his Overlord hasn't gone over there, so Zerg really has no scouting information before that. Once you see that probe come in, you get very nervous. Many Zerg players, I'm sure, know the feeling. He is researching speed right now. Still is not expanded here at the 2-minute mark, which is very, very strange for a Zerg player. But this could indicate an all-in, or no, he's just going to expand late. Yep. Just wants to be very safe. Perhaps Ursula cannon rushed him earlier, and that's why he was so cautious. This is definitely a very, very conservative opening. Like, not expanding this early in the game, it's either a cheese or it's very, very conservative. You're very afraid of potential all-in from Protoss. Players like Haz and SOS just have instilled this fear into Zerg players. You see the Chrono Boost out. We'll be an Adept. A little bit of interesting pylon placement here. I think he didn't wall off quite the way he wanted to, so he wanted to create the simple gap there with the pylon. Maybe this is just the best way to wall off on this map. I'm not quite sure. I'll let you on a little secret that I don't wall off very much on the low ground against Zerg because I like to cannon rush them, so I can understand why Slammer's doing this. But now there's nothing in the wall at all. The probe is here, but he will not make the pylon in... Oh, no, he does! Gets the pylon down in time. There's a Stargate on the other side. So that will actually complete the wall off. Very awkward wall off, but it is a wall off. It looks like we're going to get another Adept coming out here. This should stop the attack. Another pylon being added on, so this will complete the wall off again. I would say this is the most awkward wall off I think I've ever seen, but it's working. It's stopping these Zerglings from getting in here. And 3 bases now for Slammer. He's gone. More pylons being added on the back to make sure this wall off stands. We'll get the cancel last second. And we'll get the cancel on the ones behind. But now this is a hard wall, I believe. Yep, no way for the Adept to get out. But no way for the Zerglings to get in. And Overlord will see the main base, but there's no tech actually up on the high ground. The Stargate's on the low ground. And behind this, Slammer did go up to 3 bases. He was just sending those Zerglings across. Like, it's a very strange opening from Slammer, but I think, again, it's just very conservative because you're very scared of the Protoss cheese. And then once he knew he wasn't cheesing, he was like, alright, I'm taking 3 bases. Spore Crawler being added on because he doesn't know the Stargate is there, both in the main and the natural. Fortunately, not add one on yet because there's not any drones over there in the third, so. A couple Zerglings standing here, making sure there's no move out. These Zerglings, I believe, are here just to make sure there's nothing coming out of the main base. They're trying to move in again here. Just a Stalker and Adept here. Shield batteries will be added on behind to try and complete the wall, as well as be useful if they do complete. Shield those units. And the pylons, perhaps, well, one pylon is getting very low, but we'll finally go down. But shield batteries there. Classic. We'll cancel that. So now there's no hard wall anymore. Thank you. Thank you, Slammer, for killing my own hard wall. A second Stargate being added on. One Oracle moving across the map here. The new skin as well, I believe. Ursula's now supply blocked, unfortunately, so we can't actually produce anything else. This Oracle not able to be produced. There's 2 Oracles, though. Excuse me, a Phoenix not able to produce, but there's 2 Oracles. That's what I'm trying to say. Another drone being sent across looking for the 4th base, but that's going to be stopped real quick by those Oracles. And they're going to look for some damage there. The Spore Crawler is there to stop them. Going to turn on the Queen now. 2 Oracles. One will pull off and save its life. Both will get away. The Queen damaged, but is otherwise okay. The Phoenix does get out finally. And should take down this Overlord. The second Starlight... Looks like the second Stargate was cancelled in favor of a Twilight Council and a Robo. Zealot and Stalker charging forward to take care of those Lings, and the Phoenix will take care of that Overlord. Alright, well the 4th will be made. It just be made in completely the other direction for Slammer, so he's definitely looking to play this longer game. Move out now. Spore Crawler is at the 3rd. So these Oracles will not be able to find damage too easily. Do have the Evolution Chamber. Researching, I believe it's melee attack. And a Roach Warren as well. No lair as of yet. Yeah, no lair. A couple of gases being added on at the 3rd, but none at the natural, and just 1 at the main. So, interesting. Perhaps he's going for just a low tech, very just mass Roach and Zergling focused build. Glaives is being started up, and it's about halfway done now with that Chrono Boost for Ursula. So perhaps looking for a Mass Adept with some Stargate follow-up. The Zerglings are moving to the 3rd, but they will be pushed away by the Stalkers and those Oracles. Shield Battery also adds on. Zerglings have been quite a nuisance here for Ursula. And the Zerglings are going to find a probe in transit. The second one looking to be taken down 3rd. And looks like the Oracles will be able to clean this up. But oh, a 4th one taken down, I believe. Oh, looks like we got a Dark Shrine, though, on the way. This Glaive is about to finish up. As the Dark Shrine is also about to finish up. Interesting he committed to the Glaives there. He doesn't really have that many Adepts. He doesn't have too many Gateways either. Considering, at least what I would consider for a Glaives all-in at this point in the game. Does have 5 gates and is adding on Templar Archives as well as that Dark Shrine. So we'll see if he goes for a DT play or if he's just using the DTs for Archons. There was a Warp Prism on the other side here. Has not warped in anything yet, and no one's really noticed it, so I'm not sure what it's doing. On the other side, the Dark Templar have killed the hatchery, and there are more in the natural. There's still a Warp Prism at the 4th, but it's not doing anything as of yet. The Dark Templars are working on the spawning pool now, and if they can pick that up, it's a big pickup. There is a Roach Horn available, though, so units will still be able to be produced. The Dark Templar, well, they're blocking their buddies over there. Warp Prism heading back home as we see a Dark Templar, but there's a Spore Crawler there for detection, so a Dark Templar at the 4th will not get it. The Spine Crawler also being added on there. Second hatchery started here in the main, but that will go down as well unless the cancel comes through. The cancel will not come through, so 300 minerals down. Spore Crawler does decide to burrow itself on the other side, so the natural will be safe. The lair is completed in a couple seconds. The Dark Templar can move through. Dark Templar are just pretty strong against Zerglings in general. Even with detection, the Dark Templar can stand their own when they have, especially when they have a very good funnel here. Setting up this choke point will morph into Archons to try and save themselves here, but those shields are going down pretty quick, and one goes down, a second one should fall. Yep, so the Archons will not be able to be saved. On the other side, we do have some Adepts here working away. Glaives was finished, so this 5th base, well, 4th, I suppose, is going to be taken down. Nope, they're going to continue to shade into the natural. They'll take down quite a few Lings. Adept's very good at this, but they've been surrounded. One goes down, and the last one will fall as well. Spawning pool is completed, so he does have access to those Queens again, as well as the Spore Crawlers and Spy Crawlers, but on the other side, the Oracles are working their way on the 3rd, 4th. I don't really know what it is. It's in the position of a 3rd base, but it's the 5th base being made, and it's technically the 4th currently. It doesn't matter. The Dark Templar and Adept did get on the other side, but they're not going to find too much damage here. The Spine Crawlers and Roaches trying to work their way here. They did find quite a few drones, but there are plenty of units here to shut down this attack. And it looks like the Adepts will go down eventually, but quite a few drone kills found. And Slammer down 30 drones right now, 40 to 70 in the drone count here. 3 base to 4 base. Well, 3 base to 3 base, I suppose, after that last one was taken down. He's made a lot of bases, but Slammer hasn't been able to keep him up. That's what I'm saying. A couple high Templar and Archons in on the other side. Stargate has sat idly for most of the rest of the game, besides that first sort of foray into trying to kill those drones. Charge is going to be the second upgrade out of the Twilight Council. Another photon cannon being added on here, the 3rd, to try and get some detection, and also some static defenses here along with that shield battery. Some Ravagers being morphed in here along with these Roaches. A couple Zerglings here as well. But this could be a big attack here. If he's able to kill this third, there's just one Dark Templar here to defend, along with that cannon's about to finish up. But this timing is actually very fortuitous. Does get a second without the cannon firing and should kill it. If he does target it down, the Biles come in. He's just going to go straight for the Nexus. Now turning on the cannon. His Nexus should go down, though. The shield battery trying to save these probes, but they should all die. There's just no army here for Ursula. He is attacking on the other side. Big commitment here. A lot of units for Ursula. That means he's got really not a lot at home. A ton of Roach Ravager moving through here. They're able to get into the natural. Once they kill the Zealot, they should be able to get a natural, but they're going to stop momentarily. Okay, now they're going back. Now they're going back. Targeting down the Gateway and the Cyber Core. The Zealot isn't ranged, so we can't really do much against those. We'll go down eventually to the Zerglings. And now this should be a lot of tech destroyed here. It looks like that lone Immortal trying to make his way up to the high ground. This is all his production here is in this natural for Ursula. He's trying to make his way into the enemy base. Looks like we're going to have a base trade coming up. There aren't any probes on the map, though, to make a second Nexus for Ursula right now. He is not spellbacked anymore, so he can warp in a few more units. The recall is going to come through. He's going to try and save the base at home. Will not commit to the base trade. He's going to try and defend here. The storms come in. That's a lot of roaches down, and they're forced to retreat here. The storms were good. The last one, not so good, but the first couple were. It looks like the attack will be thwarted, but down to just one base as Ursula has enough resources for 2 more. But he's actually got to finish those. He did leave a few units on the other side. The Zealot's doing work here in the natural. Now Slammer just on 1 base as well, so he's making a second one over here, where the original 3rd or 4th base, the 5th base, I don't know. There was a base there before. There's another one there now. Ursula has already expanded here to what is a 3rd location as well. I need the game to be a little bit more organized so I can keep track of it all, but I'm doing my best here. Not too many workers for either side. 29 for Slammer, 23 for Ursula. He had 70 at one point. Now he's down to 29. Take a look at the units. Lost tab, 111 Zerglings, 33 drones, 58 probes. I mean, that's quite a bit. It's just how much had been lost by both sides. Production facilities as well for the Protoss here as he's long-distance mining back to his main base. No upgrades, a little bit of wasted chrono boost there. Doesn't have really resources for it. On the other side, we do have, whoa, a lone spore crawler. They wanted a bit too far. This is a very strong army from Ursula. Even though there aren't a ton of units, it's very strong. Each unit is very, very strong. The Immortals against Roach Ravager is huge. The Storms are also huge as well. Plenty of Storms left as well for this army. It looks like the Ravagers, ooh, don't quite find the Phoenix. Dodge out at the last minute, though. Did take a lot of damage. He's just trying to use this Phoenix to keep track of the army, but unfortunately, it will fall to the Corrosive Biles. On the other side, the Immortal Templar and a few assorted units are moving in, trying to get this last base down here. Second to last base, rather. The Archons are moving forward. The Immortals forced to kite back. The Zealots are starting to fall. Templar and the rest are going to make their way over to the Extractors, kill them, and looks like they're going to take down these Overlords. Nope. They're going to be safe here. Recall coming in. Bunch of Zerg on the other side. The Zerglings trying to take down this Dark Shrine, but will not do so. We'll just run out here. Dark Templar are pretty useful here, as both players are unlimited economies. There's not a ton of Spore Crawlers available, just one available at the natural for Slammer. Just 5 roaches in production tab now for Slammer. Both players on very, very limited economy. Ursula has no gas income right now. Looks like the Zerglings are going to find their way back into the main base. They're just too fast for those units. +2 attack is available for Ursula, and 1-1 for Slammer. But yeah, both players on very limited economies. These Zerglings are going to get quite a bit of work done here. Taking out some of these pylons is actually pretty huge because this could supply block him. He's only got 7 supply that's free right now. Make that none, as he does get supply block. And that Forge and Templar Archives are unpowered. Templar Archives not super important, but the Forge is. Now there's a huge Zerg army coming across here for Slammer. This could be a big win for him. Coming from behind after losing so many bases. There's a lot of Loaches, a lot of Ravagers, but that's a lot of Immortals and Archons he's got to deal with. A bunch of Storms available as well. Some of those Templar are just on full energy. One Storm lands, but not too big of a hit. The Ravagers are working their way on the other side, trying to take down this Nexus. We'll take down one Assimilator. A couple of Zealots and Dark Templar on the other side. There's a counterattack on the other side, though, for Ursula on that second base. Of course, Biles hit the Nexus again. It's very, very low on health. One more volley. Oh, no! The Nexus does survive. Very, very close. A Templar moving forward again. The storms hit. The Zealots are tanking up most of the shots here, and the Mortals are firing away. The Corrosive Vials are dodged out there. Good morph into an Archon. Low on energy were those Templar, so he's going to morph that into Archon and get another key unit for this battle, which could be huge. That Templar, the Archon's going to go down almost instantaneously, though, to get quite a few shots off. Good. Oh, Warp Prism juggling there. He's able to dodge on the Corrosive Vials. Was Ursula. Mortals charging forward again. Still 5 Immortals left and 4 Templar, all of them with storms. Ooh, just saved that Immortal last second there, very low in health. We'll get the shields back in a moment, but now he's got to worry about this Nexus going down. He's going to warp in some Zealots on the other side, but the Ravagers, the Corrosive Bile, they will take it down. The Nexus does go down. There's no resources left for Ursula to make another Nexus. The Ravagers continue to be chased here. Some good Warp Prism Micro will take down most of these Ravagers. There has been another Nexus on the other side, but this is the only mining base right now. The main is pretty much completely out of resources. A few mineral patches and gas geysers left, but not really much of anything. There's one Ravager left in the corner who will eventually go down. And Ursula able to clean up that attack, but a lot of damage done by Slammer here. He's only on 2 bases right now. Does have a little bit of mining in the main, but that's not very... It's not a lot there. That's just not a lot of mining going on there. Again, his main has been mostly mined out. Corrosive Vials do land, but Emerald Shield will save that one. Zerglings continue charging again. The storms are pretty good, but those Ravagers are still firing away here. Great Concave. These Immortals, they do a lot of damage to storms. Oh, another big storm lands on almost all the units. Those storms have been huge this game. One Ravager sitting on barely any health. 3 health from that Ravager. And it looks like, oh, I think he took down his own Overlord with those Corrosive Vials. The Queen forced to run away with the rest. Another big warp in here. These are all Zealots. And now these Immortals are just incredible units when they're up against Roach Ravager. The Zerglings, though, trying to get this around along with the Broodlings and the drones, but to juggle away, Warp Prism will already save it, but the Warp Prism itself is very low. If the Queen takes that down, that could be a huge, huge pickup. The Queen not able to get in range, though. Too slow. The Immortals are continuing to fight away. One more Templar. I believe it has energy for a storm, but it might have used it already. And Ursula is going to take the victory. A very close game. A very intense game. But in the end,